All commotion, I almost forgot I was still holding Reza's letter. In the plain envelope, similarly plain sheet of paper with his handwriting. When I started reading, however, I saw his wording was so full of the pleasantries I knew he hated that I assumed every word of it was faked as to conceal its true intent. It's almost like he told me he was sending me a coded message. Didn't mention I'd know what to do, but I was unsure of how I was supposed to decode the letter's secret message. God, I remember being given a cipher before, and I don't know, every time I've been given a cipher before, with like no hints as to how to... Okay, with a hint to decode it, I ended up completely overcomplicating it, and it's just... The person who made it just kept listening to all my ideas like, oh man, I should have done that, that sounds cool. No, I did something boring. And God. It was always disappointing when it ended up being very yeah, they weren't lying when they said it was boring. So it ended up being kind of disappointing when I did eventually solve it. Oh man. Can't wait to fuck up this code message. This is what it said. Hello, my dear friend. I hope this letter reached you swiftly in good condition. Fortunately, we're not able to catch up earlier, so I wanted to write you this letter. How have you been these last few years? What have you been doing? How's the family? I feel like so much we should talk about since we have not seen each other much recently. At least we have a chance to do so in this form. What an exciting venture we are on now, right? How have you liked it here so far? Made any dragon friends yet? Haha. Anyways, I will be looking forward to your reply soon. Best regards, Reza. He really did make it look like a normal letter. Yeah, no, I feel like this would require me knowing Reza to be able to decode this. Also, hold up. The pleasantries he hated so much. Dear God, why did we send him? Why was he the first one through the portal? Who thought this was a good idea? Why did we send such an asshole over? Various things came to mind. Only reading certain words or letters was one that I thought of immediately. Couldn't make out anything after trying to find a system within its array of letters and lines. Maybe I had to look more carefully. Maybe you refer to the fact that we were both given an apartment. Considering the things they provide for us, maybe I just have to find the right object to code a message. There are many everyday items here, though, and of course I still had no idea what in particular I was looking for. I wish I could look back at that letter. I should have taken a screenshot. Let's look at the bookshelf. Stocked with quite a variety of books on different topics. But then, it has something to do with the books. The shelf's full of them, but I suppose the head could be inside one of them. What is this? Excellent Sphere and how to use it. As a manual meant for the general populace, the booklet intends to bring you, the valid reader, closer to the usage joys of an Ixomen Sphere might bring. I have taken utmost care to use simple language and instructions to remove the well-known barrier between individuals and knowledge of proper use of this most wondrous device. For interested parties, a chapter about the Ixomen Sphere's history and ideas for advanced applications can be found later in the book. Quick Start Guide. Step 1. Place your Ixomen Sphere on a flat, stable surface. Make sure the surface is indeed stable and flat. Expert tip. Use a sphere level in order to turn the surface absolutely horizontal in order to prevent the Ixomen Sphere from rolling off the table unintendedly. Step 2. Plug your Ixomen Sphere into any fitting household outlet. Ah yes. Let's watch my Ixomen Sphere roll with a wire coming out of it. Warning, make sure Ixomen Sphere's power switch is in the off position prior to plugging it in. Step 3. Locate the power switch of the Ixomen Sphere. Excuse me? Did you just tell us to do that in as the warning in step 2? In fact, I think we need specifically mention do it before step 2. Ooh. And then step 3 you plug it in. Like step 2 is locate the power switch and turn it, make sure it's set to off. Then step 3 is plug it in. That may introduce some difficulties. Many models of Ixomen Spheres exist, with varying methods of turning them on and off. When in doubt, please contact your Ixomen Sphere's manufacturer to help with this step if necessary. That's horrifying that you need to contact the manufacturer to turn on your, like, Xbox. Sounds like a poorly made product. I know how to work an Ixomen Sphere, whatever that is. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be a book. Behind the books? Left another message here at the point. Could have known that I was gonna live here, so could possibly help the preparations hit something for me to find. No knife and removing every single bookshelf, still no indicator of anything that would have me decode a secret message. Reza did leave a hit. This could have been anywhere in the apartment, not just on his bookshelf. Okay. We're in puzzle mode. Bathroom. The cabinet? No razors. There are some pain meds though. I really need pain meds right now. No shampoo to be found anywhere, of course. No hint either, just some body wash. Oh, yeah, no shampoo because dragons don't have hair. Look in the kitchen. Look in the pantry. Just some fruits and veggies here. Why aren't they in the fridge? If I put it on the floor and step on it, what would happen? I'd be going on a date. But no, there's no hint here. Yeah, I wonder if there's any hints in any of these fruit. What I know about figs, quite a bit actually. Figs are ripe with history and still enjoy some cultural significance, especially in religious circles. For example, they are the leaves with which Adam and Eve covered themselves up in the Bible's book of Genesis. It also happens to be the kind of tree Buddha achieved enlightenment under. Not only that, but is also mentioned in Greek mythology. Isn't it fascinating? But wait, there's more. The influence of figs also extends towards words, phrases, and sayings we still use today. Take the word sycophant, for example, which comes from a Greek expression meaning someone who shows the fig, which was a vulgar gesture at the time, or I don't give a fig, which of course is a figure of speech. Are you kidding me? The goddamn fig was the answer? I swear to God. Might as well be said that the influence of figs is as far-reaching as its fruit is succulent, figuratively speaking, that is. Afraid that nothing of this actually helps with this letter, though. Okay, no. No, they're just making fun of me going through the fruit. There are two of them, what a nice pair. So, Daddy Grapes finds this kid crying, that's what's wrong, kid. But through all the tears, the kid couldn't get a single word out. Eventually, Daddy had enough, so he said, "Stop No, I won't say it. It wasn't a good joke anyway. Stop whining." You learned a lot about fruits. Lemons, lemons, lemons! Of course, why didn't I realize it sooner? Lemon juice, simplest way to write a hidden message using household items. I learned about that in chemistry. The most boring detail, of course. Message written in lemon juice on paper becomes about invisible to the naked eye when dried, but after heating it gently, oxidation occurs, making the message visible. Dang, I wanted to check out the fridge. I was sitting next to him in class when we learned that. He made a joke about using the method to cheat on the next test. I replied by saying he'd have to bring an iron. He really expected me to remember a random chemistry class that happened years ago. Then, I did remember it after all. "Meet me at the portal tonight, 10 p.m. was all the message said. I wasted a good amount of time, but I still had some left before I'd have to go out and meet Reza, so I decided to make some lunch. Afterwards, I resumed reading my book about the continuing adventures of Sheridan and her exploits in destroying cultural artifacts. Unsurprisingly, it came to a happy end, with the evil organization stopped in its tracks, at least for now. I thought the ending was deliberately left open for ambiguity. Why can't I pronounce ambiguity right now? Like, holy shit. When I turned the page and saw the advertisement for the next entry in this apparently long-running series of books, I realized all of this had just been a ploy to set up the inevitable sequel. Luckily, the disappointment didn't last long as I had to get going to meet Reza at the portal. When I got outside, it didn't seem quite as dark as when I arrived yesterday. I might have had difficulties finding my way otherwise, but I could still see the portal in the distance. As I was walking, I wondered if anyone was following me, but the land seemed oddly deserted. Was everyone already asleep? Eventually, I arrived at my destination. Reza was already standing idly by the portal, his fidgeting making it obvious that he had waited just for me. I was already wondering whether you'd get it at all. Guess I did. What a wonderful night it is. Just to look up at the stars, you see them so clearly here, without all the pollution lingering in the air like back home, almost as if we were looking right into the face of eternity itself. For so long, humanity thought we'd find aliens out there. After all of these years, we found we were still alone in the universe. Turns out we were just not looking in the right place. What's going on, Reza? Why'd you call me here all at this time? For one, because we're sending the generator home. Right, before I was sent here, they told me they would limit the use of the portal as they couldn't afford to keep it open all the time. In order to keep in contact with us and to enable us to send things over to them, the portal would be open for just a quarter of an hour each day. Sending something back home wasn't really problematic for us, since the high energy expenditure associated with sending bigger objects only affected the sender. not the receiver. However, this also meant that until all business was concluded in regards to our trade of the PDAs and the generators, we were basically stuck here. As for the other, do you know what this place is? You said something about trouble. How much danger are we in, really? More than enough. I'm afraid this whole place will be gone soon. We better not be here when it happens. What? That's an interesting assumption. What do you have to make you think that? Just spit it out already. I hoped you'd see it too, but then it took me a while to understand. I had a head start on you. In any case, while speaking, my gaze wandered and fixed on some movement nearby. It was hard to make out anything, but I imagine it might have just been the wind blowing through a nearby shrubbery, except for the fact that there was no wind. Reza? Might take a while to explain, but we've got the whole night. Reza, look. Turned around to face whatever I was seeing. He squinted hard before he called out. You! How dare you follow me even here? Durbin's came closer. It became clear that it was Maverick, who had hidden nearby to listen in on our conversation. I knew you were up to no good. What were you talking about? What are you planning here? Some kind of attack? Wait a minute, there's no reason don't try tonight. I heard you both talking about it in the cafe. And I saw the letter. Think I could smell the lemon on it? Pathetic. You have to come with me to a police station now, both of you. Come on, I think you're overreacting, but we'll come. Excuse me, Reza? Reza, what are you doing? Come on, cat, let's get out of here. No. So I can see the wound where the bullet penetrated his hide. A trickle of blood stained his dark scales and the earth beneath. Reza used the opportunity to run off some direction. I wasn't sure which. I quickly scanned my surroundings for Reza, though he had already vanished dark. What was I supposed to do? Run away as well? Help Maverick? Just didn't have no idea what was happening. Help Maverick. Suddenly the dragon whipped around, hitting me in the guts with his thick tail. I was lifted off the ground before I felt the impact of my body hitting the ground hard enough that my vision blurred almost immediately. A deafening roar battered my ears. Was this his cry for help? I could barely move, but I found it better not to try, as to not startle the wounded dragon more than he already was. Certainly would have ended badly for me if he tried anything. Let him take a few unsure steps before he lay down on the ground, panting. Still watching you, you know. Better not move for your own good. If I have to get up again, come after you in this condition, I promise you I won't be nice. It took a few minutes of listening to his labored breathing before someone arrived. It was two dragons. First I recognized as Sebastian, the other one I didn't know. I heard Sebastian and Maverick exchange a few words, then the stocky fellow approached me. Yeah, he doesn't look happy. Hey, kid, you alright? I think I'm alright. I'm Bryce, the chief of police in this town. Can you tell me what happened? Reza shot Maverick and ran off. Is that so? His face was stern and seemingly lost in thought as I overheard Sebastian's conversation. Yeah, but you're the only flyer on duty. We probably won't find him now. Not here in the darkness, at any rate. Well, that's just brilliant. What do you think, Chief? Cad, can you walk? Yeah, I think so. Alright, Sebastian, take Cad to the apartment, get us some help here for Maverick, and then we'll look for Reza. Right on. Come on, Cad, I'll help you up. I was still shaken up by the events I just witnessed when I arrived at my apartment. Not knowing anything better to do, I soon fell into a deep slumber. Next day, I woke with many questions lingering in my head. I considered calling someone from the police department to ask about Reza and Maverick. In the end, I decided against doing so as I was sure they would contact me if they had anything to tell me. I knew it was no use worrying about it for now, so I settled on starting another book. Didn't take very long, though, before a doorbell rang. Did Bryce, the chief of police, take it upon himself to escort me today? Oh, it's you again. Are you surprised? A bit, but I guess it'll mean bad news. Afraid so. How are you holding up? Better than yesterday, that's for sure. Let's go for a walk then, shall we? Sure. This time, I was taking a different route than yesterday. I was quite sure there was more to this than just taking a walk. I'll just go ahead and guess you didn't find Reza. Yeah, we hoped we might have come back on his own by now. Do you have any idea where he might be? Maybe he mentioned some sort of place in particular that holds some meaning to him? No, not really. We didn't get a chance to talk much at all yesterday before. There's that, too. I have no idea why Reza would have done anything like that. I had the impression that they weren't very fond of each other, but this... How is he, by the way? Oh, Maverick is doing just fine. There's plenty of blame to go around. You're right, they didn't particularly like each other. In his statement, Maverick says he suspected Reza of planning some sort of attack. Do you know anything about that? No, he only told me something was going to happen, not that he was planning anything. At least that was the impression I got. He's suspecting you too, by the way, that you both planned this all from the beginning. No, that wouldn't make sense. Actually, none of this is making sense. Why would we go through all the lengths of our agreement only to jeopardize it by doing something like this? You even already have our PDAs, but you don't have much to show for it yet. If we had any nefarious plans, this wouldn't have been a very good idea. You have a good point. I believe you, but from our side we only have Maverick's word on the whole matter. After all, he was the one who spent the most time with Reza since he arrived here. Yeah, that's... you know... I honestly feel bad for Maverick. But even then, he didn't really have any reason to follow you yesterday. Yes, he did! He definitely did. Like... This is goddamn Reza we're talking about. And his behavior was completely out of line. I'm just glad you came out fine. Does the writer not realize that Maverick is having a very normal reaction to Reza? Like, holy shit. I'm actually worried about this visual novel, this the way it's going. If he wasn't on mandatory sick leave, he would be suspended right now. We'll have to wait until this whole thing is over before we decide what to do with him. I can assure you this won't be taken lightly. Yeah, no, let's not be mean to Maverick. Hey, he doesn't deserve that. Shit, I don't remember the question. I hope so. I personally guarantee it. We still got quite a lot of our hands now, though. We have a wounded dragon and a missing human. This could lead to a diplomatic crisis. Maybe Reza will show up soon and we can get all of this behind us. I hope so too. I really wouldn't want to jeopardize everything over this unfortunate incident. Yeah, how about we just keep quiet about this whole thing for now? After all, I don't think any of us wants our people panicking about this already, right? I merely nodded in agreement. Let's get some water. Eventually, we arrived at the police station, where the chief took my formal statement in regards to yesterday's events. He asked me about Reza and Maverick, too. Not that I knew much of anything that preceded yesterday's events, or the mysterious catastrophe Reza had mentioned. Afterwards, he thanked me and left to file my statement while I sat by his table, waiting and listening to the going-ons of the small provincial town police department. When he returned, he was approached by someone who seemed to have urgent news. A lot of talking between the two ensued that I couldn't make out from my position. This went on for a bit until Bryce returned to me. Afraid I have more bad news for you. Reza has now officially become a murder suspect. Murder? Yeah, that sounds on par with him so far. We're headed to the crime scene and hoped you'd come with us. Me at crime scene? I really don't know much about forensics. It's just that you're the only link to Reza we have. Consider what he said would happen to us all. It's in all of our interests that we find him as soon as possible. And if he has anything to do with it, you might be able to help us find him. Your cooperation would certainly be appreciated, and it would be a nice gesture to show us that you're trustworthy in the eyes of those who might think otherwise after what happened yesterday. Yeah, this is why I quick saved. What if I say I respectfully decline? I implore you to reconsider. Suppose I'll just have to keep asking you until you change your mind. Is there gonna be 99 messages? Suppose I'll just... Okay. 4, 5... 6, 7. Okay, I'm not going for that achievement. I'll help you. I suppose I really don't have much choice here, but you're right. Gotta find Reza, and if that's what it takes, that'll do it. Very well, let's go then. On our way to the crime scene, he tried to prepare me for what would come. I had studied biology, so I was familiar with the sight of dead animals. Asking myself how similar this would be, I wondered if my reaction would be any different if it was a dragon, but a human corpse I would be seeing. When we arrived, we were met by Sebastian, who gave us an overview of the whole situation. This morning, the victim was found by a delivery flyer for a restaurant. Blood loss from multiple wounds are the likely cause of death. Forensics was already here, so feel free to poke around. A few paces in front of us, the unfortunate victim lay on the ground, covered by a sheet that concealed the body, but not the large red stain beneath. We approached while Sebastian went off to deter any curious onlookers. I know it won't be pretty, and I'm sorry for putting you through this, but you know what's at stake here. Just remember what I told you should be followed. Alright. Are you ready? Just do it. I don't think this is Reza's doing. Reza has a gun. So, I don't think he's doing all of these slash marks. What do you think? Well, he's definitely dead. Yeah. Rip. Yeah, rest in peace. Just say this will be your test. Tell me what you can deduce from what you see. Give it your best shot. 2 wings, 2 legs, just like the waitress in the cafe. About as big as a human, lengthwise, if not slightly taller. The wingspan would certainly look impressive at that size. The wounds are kinda hard to miss. True, but what are they telling you? He was already deadly he got these wounds is an interesting idea. Since, yeah, there's not really much blood flow from all the... Well, he's already dead when he got these wing wounds, because there's not really... It's kind of a lack of blood flow from them. But the main body wounds definitely have a lot of blood flow, so I don't think this is what we want to say. Honestly, yeah, sharp implement is definitely the thing pointing away from Reza. Interesting that there's blood around his mouth, though. I guess that means they were at least fighting back and took a bite out of the attacker. Huh. Which means there might be a blood trail. They're clean cuts, like from a knife or another sharp instrument. That's true, but why does this matter? Couldn't have been Reza. Reza had a gun yesterday. Why would he use a knife now? Right. That weapon he was using on Maverick is called a gun, right? Yeah. But strange contraptions. Well, he could have had a reason to use a knife over his gun if it was him. You think of any. Did not want to make any noise. After all, he ran away from Maverick, trying to hide from the police. Something as loud as a gunshot would have easily given away his position and alerted others in the area. Right, that could be a good reason. By the way, which one do you think was the lethal one? Neck. Just... yeah, no. Going back to the blood flow. Pretty much mostly coming from the neck. One on his neck. I think it was the one on his neck. That's right. While the blood from it wasn't a giveaway, this is a stab wound, characterized by a rather small footprint. You can tell, oh, it's also the deepest one. What? Characterized by a rather small footprint. What? What is the small footprint? I don't see the footprint. And from the location, it's pretty obvious this must have done tremendous damage. What else do you see? Okay, I guess we're looking at blood. Well, there's a lot of blood. Blood splatter suggests that... he died here. Died here, else there would have been a trail we could follow. The splatters also suggest this is where they... Except there should be a trail they could follow. It's true. Unfortunately, it doesn't help determining who the perpetrator is. Objection! Excuse me. Sorry, I just always want to say that. Go on, please. Yeah, thank you. How about the blow on his muzzle? Tell me. He fought back. It might be the perpetrator's blood. Yes, that is true. I expect forensics already took a sample of it, so it might actually help us determine who the perpetrator is. I think that's about everything. You know what, kid? I'm impressed. Maybe we should have you around more often. You did well in the first investigation. Hey, Chief, do you still need the witness here for anything? Sebastian approached with the dragon who had discovered the body earlier. Recognized her as Adine, the waitress from the cafe. She seemed distraught, which, given the situation, wasn't very surprising. I don't think so. Take her to the department, get her statement written up, and that should be it. Sure thing. Alright, miss, we're going to have to take you to the department. Of course. She spotted me, however, composure brightened visibly. Oh, it's the human. Well, I'm a human. Well, I call you by a name, but you never actually told me yet. It's Cad. What are you even doing here? Do you work for our police now? Looks like it. Maybe I should be calling you officer then. I don't think I'm quite there yet. By the way, I didn't know you also did deliveries. I do a little bit of everything, really. That's nice. I liked my fish yesterday. You don't have to hide. I know it's quite an acquired taste. To be fair, I wouldn't have recommended it to someone new like you. You could always try something different. Here's our number if you don't want to come in, and we'll deliver anything we have to you. Thanks. Oh, they voiced the cough for me. Instead of just doing like asterisk, cough, asterisk. Sorry, I guess we should get going. Bye. What do we do now? I suppose we'll head off too, unless... Oh no. What is it? We've got a violent homicide. Of course, nobody from the department tells me. I have to find out from a neighbor who wanted to ask me about it. Good thing rumors travel fast, eh? Of course nobody told you. You're on sick leave. Mandatory sick leave, I might add. I'm not here in any official capacity, you see. I am merely enjoying a curative walk in the fresh air and happened to come across you by accident. What do you want? I don't want anything. I just find it interesting that no one tells me about this. But the prime suspect's buddy can mess with the investigation. I see how it is. I know what you were thinking, but don't jump to conclusions here. I don't need to jump to conclusions. I think the dead body we found says it all. No, it doesn't. We still have plenty to investigate. I'm sure the fact that you have a police force means you see your fair share of crimes. So, murder's probably not that unreasonable. You really have an attitude problem. You know, if you weren't on sick leave, you'd be suspended right now for attacking Cad yesterday. Do you even have any idea what kind of repercussions this could have on us all? Me attack Cad? As far as I can see, I'm the only one who's injured here. Besides, I'm so sorry for apparently being the only one who's doing his damn job. Right, let's just all sit idly by while the suspect's on the loose are planning his next move. You know, whatever it was Reza was talking about, he was going to tell me just before you showed up yesterday. I don't need to hear you, of all people, belittling me about this. What's your problem? If anything, I want to find just as much as you do. Don't compare yourself to me, your words mean nothing. Enough, you shouldn't even be here. So you better go now and get some rest before I have to take disciplinary action. Fine, but when we find him, you'll see I was right. If I have to prove myself, so be it. Can he even just do his own investigation like that? Well, as long as he doesn't interfere with us, can't really stop him from doing things in his own free time. I see. I suspect he won't adhere to the standards of performing an unbiased investigation, though. He has already made up his mind. It's clear to me he won't be looking for facts, just for evidence to support his own view in order to prove it to us or himself. Who knows? He's always been like that. Always something to prove. We'll have to be careful. He'll be looking for Reza soon enough. So if we find Reza before he does... Yeah. Don't worry, Reza will turn up eventually. I surely hope so. And honestly, kind of for Maverick's sake, since he would probably get shot again. All things considered, I have to admit that it remained a possibility Maverick was right. But could the Reza I knew really be a murderer? Considering he probably doesn't see dragons as people, yeah, I think he could easily murder a dragon. You know what? If you think of something that might help the investigation, or if you need anything else, just call me. I will. Well, I think we're done here. Let's go.